We had been in Shelter Bay Marina for 6 weeks preparing for the Pacific crossing, and we were finally ready to transit the canal. Transiting the canal is quite a process, so we decided to use an agent, which made things much simpler. The first step is to have the boat measured by an official ad measurer, and then a date is agreed. On that date, 3 line handlers arrived, with 4 100-meter lines, some large fenders and a healthy appetite. We're going in with the big white tanker. Kate and I would be on board with the 3 line handlers for the next 2 days. The advisor would leave at night and then come back in the morning. Kate had a lot of cooking to do for everybody. So I guess that's the last of the Atlantic. One of the things you have to decide when booking the transit is how you want to be secured in the locks. You can either be tied to the side of the lock, tied to a pilot boat, or by yourself in the middle of the lock, or in the middle of the lock, but rafted up with 2 other sailing boats. We had chosen to go in the middle of the lock, either by ourselves or rafted up. The other 2 options are not a good idea, as many sailing boats have been damaged in that way. The other option with the transit is whether to do it all in 1 day or over 2 days, spending a night in Gatun Lake. We had decided to go for the 2-day option, and here we are trying to locate the mooring buoy in the dark. Once we were attached, the advisor left for the night. This involved it being picked up by a big launch, and to do that they had to get close enough for him to jump from our boat to the good ship Halibut. It was a bit worrying, but they'd obviously done it a few times before. Here's what they call the world's most expensive mooring buoy. Just $2,000 a night. And this is where we spent the last night here in Gatun Lake. It was all dark when we arrived, but this is what we saw. We woke up this morning. And here comes the advisor, the pilot, back for the 2nd day. So here we are, it's just the start of day 2. We've just been going for about 20 minutes. And so we overtook that big container ship back there. It was going very slowly. We got 2 other boats coming along behind us, 2 other yachts. And then, so this is where we are right now. So this is the first set of locks here. And then we spent last night just sort of over here, basically. And then, so today, we're going to go through here, along through here, down here, all the way down here, and then, so here we have the final locks down into the Pacific, and then we come out here. We saw a couple of crocodiles sunning themselves on the bank, but they're too far away to show up on the video. Crocodiles are quite a problem in Panama, and it's not a good idea to swim in the river estuaries for that reason. When we'd been in the San Blas Islands on the Caribbean coast of Panama, Kate was always on the lookout for them, as there'd been some attacks. So we just had to anchor up for an hour or so at this spot, because there's a big tanker coming through the cut down there and we have to wait for them. So we're just going to be here, let's relax for about an hour.
Coming up to the Pedro Miguel locks, we had to slow down as we were told we were rafting up with 2 other boats. Our advisor directed the proceedings. I was now driving all 3 boats and concentrating hard. The line handlers on the lock side throw a weighted line over to the boat, and our line handlers attach it to our mooring lines. These are then hauled up onto the side of the dock, and the canal line handlers walk along the side of the dock until we're in the right place, and they don't like it if you go too fast.
You can see the water coming in as the container ship comes in behind us, pushing all the water in front of them. So that's the Pacific just beyond the locks. So now one last gate to go.
And then the final lock gates were opened and we were in the Pacific. We followed the tankers and the container ships out into the Bay of Panama and past Isla Flamenco to our anchorage for the next month, while we made the final preparations for the Pacific crossing.